Hey guys, what's going on? It's Jamie from True Sound Hire, and today I'm going to be walking you through an overview of the DJM-900 Nexus 2 and the CDJ-2000 Nexus 2. Both of these are Pioneer's brand new flagship products. We've just got them in. They're fresh off the press. They are literally only about 2 months now in the wild, and they are quite a nice upgrade from the old DJM-900 Nexus and the CDJ-2000 Nexus. They're a bit more of a jump than you'd initially think as well, considering the short lifespan of the CDJ-2000 Nexus and the DJM-900, which would honestly question to a lot of people whether it'd be worth upgrading to. And hopefully in this video I can give you a bit of an oversight as to the features of the product and a bit of a comparison to what the older product was like. So let's get into it anyways. The DJM-900 Nexus I'll start with first. Now, this has had a major upgrade in terms of build quality and the underlying audio engine. They've upped it from 16-bit to 24-bit digital audio up to a 96 kilohertz sample rate. So this brings it up to standard technically with some of the touring spec desks, the mixing desks that you get out there. This is definitely going to be no letdown to you in terms of sound quality, as Pioneer's DJ kit always has been now. They've added far more robust turntable grounding points on the back. They've added gold-plated I/O, so you've got a total of 8 phono inputs, 2 XLR outputs, a 1/4 inch jack send and return, as well actually as a USB effect send and return now, which allows you to connect something like an iPad running Pioneer's RMX 1000 software, which they've now essentially, that is just a virtualization of their RMX 1000 physical effects unit. So you know, that's one less physical thing that you now have to have. You can put that on an iPad, for instance. You've got 2 USB inputs now instead of just the one, which is really useful when you have a nightclub setup, say, or a festival setup even, where you have multiple DJs playing one after the other. It allows one DJ to plug in, use the mixer as a sound card. It allows also the next DJ to plug in and have a much more smooth transition between the two, because as we know nowadays, digital vinyl systems such as Serato and now even Pioneer's new record box DJ software is becoming ever more popular. So that's one more reason to move up to this guy. They've upgraded the faders to their Magvel faders even, which is supposed to be a lot more reliable. Time will be the test of that, obviously, with these things being so new now. I will try and keep you guys updated in the comments as to how these guys have held up over months and weeks of use as DJ kits, and as DJ kit usually does, it gets quite a beating. So time will be the ultimate test of this thing, but initial reactions are quite good with this, because you pick it up and instantly it's a lot heavier actually than the 900 Nexus that it replaces. They've obviously used a higher quality metallic finish, and they've made some nice refinements, such as we've got this OLED higher resolution screen now, which shows just the essentials. I think the older display was a bit more difficult to see in conditions such as sunlight. They fixed that. They know exactly where this stuff is being used, so that is another major benefit. You've got effect frequencies, so you can apply your beat effects to say the low group of frequencies, the mid frequencies, the high frequencies, which for effects such as filters and flangers, you can play around with it a lot more. You have a lot more control over the sound and effect that you are getting. You have got a parameter knob on color effect sound as well. That again is in most cases just dry or wet effect control, but more flexibility. You now have a beat effects indicator when you select which channel is on, so you know which channel it applies to, and you can also apply beat effects now to whatever your crossfader section is set to. That is about it for the DJM-900, as I believe. One more thing actually, you've got a clip display at the top. So say if we just play a track through whack that right up there, be a really naughty DJ, and you can see you have an extra light at the top here when you are actually clipping. I think this is one thing that they have improved on now in the past, because Pioneer mixers, if you didn't already know, the 0 dB indicator is not a true representation of 0 dB on most other mixers. They're really generous in terms of how far they let DJs push the boundaries. So that clip light, I think, is meant to show where it is beginning to hard limit. So that's another thing that is quite helpful to a lot of sound engineers out there. Now, moving on to the CDJ-2000 Nexus 2. Again, we've got a lot of improvements, especially those under the hood. You first of all and foremost, I think the most prominent thing on here is the gorgeous 7-inch touchscreen LCD display, which, as you can see here, is a lot richer and has a much higher pixel density, meaning that the everything from like the remaining time on the track is a lot clearer, to the waveform itself, which is now also RGB. These are all under the hood software features as well. They've removed the needle search because that is now also on the touchscreen. It's kind of a cross between essentially what was the 2000 Nexus and the XDJ-1000, if anybody has ever used those. Everyone was kind of expecting a replacement to that, a higher level version of that even. This is essentially what that is. So build quality again on the whole is much improved since the previous version. They've done away with all of the glossy finishes, so you've got a nice metallic finish which matches that of the DJM-900 Nexus 2. That was the main thing. Of course, you've got fingerprints everywhere. You still have that on the jog wheel, unfortunately. There's not much they can do about that. And of course, the touchscreen as well. It will be interesting to see how that wears with time. But, very impressive build quality from this machine compared to the last the machines that it replaces. Also worth mentioning is actually the physical size of the unit itself. It is quite a bit bigger. They've just squared off the edges essentially, so you will probably need new flight cases for these guys. You've got a few extra features if you are DJing. For instance, if I hit that track going, you have got slip reverse, which is in its own switch toggle now, so it automatically triggers slip mode as opposed to just going straight into reverse. Slip mode is still there. Of course, that was introduced on the 2000 Nexus. You still got your sync and master controls. Whilst it is quite a big upgrade in itself, it is still incremental as such that anyone who has used any of Pioneer's previous products, such as the 2000, 1000 Mark III, is still going to be right at home here. They've also added up to 8 hotkey points now, which is a thing a lot of people were asking for, because you have a lot of DJ controllers now which have those 8 touchpad kind of standard things, so that brings it up to date with that. You've got your usual SD card and USB input, which now has 2.1 amp charging capacity, which means you can plug and charge an iPad if you should so wish. I know a lot of people might now be choosing to use them for their record box collection. So for instance, I can also go and grab stuff from my iPad, which is connected to the other player via link, which is also still present and usable. They haven't changed that much. For instance, you've got the CD slot as well. They've kept that for compatibility purposes. I know a lot of DJs still prefer to use CD, and I can't foresee that being removed anytime soon, but they've obviously kept that in for legacy's sake. Also, extra stuff they've added, you might notice they've now got FLAC and ALAC support, which is more uncompressed audio. Those are FLACs, especially, are becoming more and more popular with DJs and other audio consumers now. And finally, another feature that they've added to the Nexus 2 range is Record Box DJ support. Now, this is a bolt-on to Pioneer's existing Record Box music management software, which has been present since the CDJ-2000 range. And what it is it's essentially software comparable to Serato or Traktor. It is, fully fledged DJ software, and these guys both support it straight out of the box. But what is interesting is, in the past, if you wanted HID support with, say, Traktor or Serato, for instance, I don't even think the original 2000 supported Serato HID, but you had to have a USB out of each player into your laptop, so you needed 3 USB ports in total. Although what they've done now, interestingly enough, is using the link feature, they have combined all of the HID support for these 3 players. There is one here, I'm sorry you can't see it in the camera, it is there, but they've combined HID across all 3 players to work off either one of the USB connectors on the mixer. So the idea is you only need 1 USB and you have all of the controls, so it all acts as a great big DJ controller, which is quite useful. Now, consequently, as a result of this, Serato and Traktor HID support is currently not natively supported by any of these products at the moment. You can obviously use digital vinyl as you would with any kind of Serato player, but yeah, if you're looking to connect by a single USB to use this as anything other than a standard sound card, you unfortunately won't be able to until Serato and Native Instruments update their drivers to support the HID control across this. So, you know, it's quite a cool feature, and I'm sure coming soon to the mainstream software, but obviously do bear that in mind. Essentially, though, that is it for these players. They are definitely more than an incremental upgrade, and it'll be interesting to see how these guys will stand the test of time. But definitely very, very promising. These seem to be built rock solid. You know, a lot less of the plastic that was commonly found in these guys in the past. And yeah, so this is the Pioneer DJM-900 Nexus 2 and the CDJ-2000 Nexus 2. And thanks very much for watching, guys, and I will see you in a future video.